Hi everyone, this is DenisLD back from the abyss. It's been quite a while since I filmed anything purely beer related, not entertaining. But I figured there's a good occasion. First of all, what triggered me, I think, is Chad from Chad's Beer Reviews releasing video from, I don't know, 2010, 11, maybe 10, where I actually visited him a couple of times in Albany. I think, and the second time probably, he was kind of interviewing me about my beer experience, and then he gave me a shout out. I thought, well, I doubt I'll go to the full scale kind of beer reviewing activity, even though I still drink beer and try different beers every week probably, and not as much as I used to, not as often. But I figured there's a good occasion to say hi and to see he's still around. And actually, I'm going to switch the camera. I went to my favorite beer shop. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm in Moscow and I've been here for 11 years or so. So I came back from, I came back to where I started from, basically. And the first year was kind of miserable in the sense that there's not a lot of good beer available besides probably like some typical European imports. But in 2014, I think, it's where everything started basically waking up, and the craft beer revolution kicked out in Russia as well. But that's a different story, maybe for long story for another time. But today I want to show what I got yesterday. So in a few weeks I'll be going to St. Petersburg to see my friend, who you know as Boris the Barbarian. And at the moment the situation is that he can't really drink alcohol. He shouldn't drink alcohol. So he should either stick to non-alcoholic beers or a very low alcohol beers, like 3-4% max. So I tried to basically find both categories, and here's what I found. And plus it's summer, it's really hot. So this one, I think most of these are local from Russia, but there's some imports as well. This one is like an easy hazy, basically hazy style, I don't know, ale, but completely, well, as much as I mean, it's non-alcoholic, but technically, strictly speaking, they say it's 0.5% max. So that's like the disclaimer, I suppose. I haven't tried this one, but the thing I should mention is that non-alcoholic beers these days are really wonderful, at least here in Russia, and they're nothing like what they used to be. I don't know, when I was a teenager and trying to get non-alcoholic beers in Canada. Yeah, that was not good stuff at all. And now sometimes I stick to non-alcoholic beers in the summer rather than going for a fizzy drink or juice, whatever, because it's it's low carb, it's refreshing, it's not as sweet. Another one, this one is New England, again, non-alcoholic New England IPA. Let's see how this one is gonna perform. I might film a few videos in St. Petersburg as well. I think I've tried something last year from this brewery. I think that was like a non-alcoholic stout. This one is a non-alcoholic IPA, also from around the Moscow area. This one is something I'm well familiar with, but I just want him to try it. Basically like a very nicely hopped non-alcoholic beer, but this one is not as low carb, I think, because some of them have more malt in them. So I don't know, depends on the brewery and also on the style and idea. Now this one has St. Petersburg on the artwork, but it's not actually from there. I mean, it would be kind of silly to bring beers from St. Petersburg to St. Petersburg. But this one is a little any pale ale, so basically not a 0% alcoholic beer, but something that Boris the Barbarian should be able to enjoy with no strings attached. Well, not you know what I mean, with no health issues. This one is basically it's the brewery from the UK that from England actually that is I think most known for their Old Peculiar and other darker ales, and I think the old ales. I think this was mentioned in the Michael Jackson book all the way back in the late 90s. But this one is just the best bitter. It's a really well brewed bitter with that kind of real ale taste and deal. And I've already tried it, but I want him to try it as well. It's really like sessionable, just a nice bitter, a very good example of the style. Moosehead, actually from Canada, is the only Canadian brewery I can probably find here, but we get quite an assortment of their beers, and they have this small batch series which rotates, and they come up with different styles. Some of them are really, it's basically hit or miss for me, but we'll give this one a go. Hoppy light lager should be good for the summer. I'm not sure if there's anything to mention besides that once we try it. Now, this one is not for Boris the Bavarian. This is some of these beers are basically just stuff I found interesting and I want to try. So Selden's is a brewery from Tula, which is the region to the south of Moscow, probably like a 2-hour drive. And I think back in the day when they started, I had some small communication on some social network with the main brewer, master brewer, and it's actually he's my namesake Denis. So I think Sal Den is basically like a part of his surname, and then Den is for Denis. And they brew all sorts of styles. What they're famous for is that they came up with a new style of beer. They took kind of an old German Gose. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but anyway, so that's salty kind of beer. And they added tomatoes, and they made a whole new style tomato Gose. And in a few minutes, I guess, or seconds, I'll mention a few examples of the style. It's a style that really hit it home for the Russian beer market, because it's super sought after, and basically people like it, and they took it to the next level. But they also have this black series, which is usually kind of barrel aged or imperial stuff. So the Eisbock should be interesting to try. I respect the brewery a lot. Now another baby New England. I'm not sure if that's a style in the States or at the moment. Oh no, actually, I'm telling you the wrong thing. This is the beer that's beside it. So this is just an American, like a hopped up pilsner from Yaroslavl, which is the region to the northeast from Moscow. I know this brewery. I've tried like a dozen beers. It's a pretty solid, solid product usually. So that's not for Boris. It's 4%. I'm not sure if he's gonna dig it. The one I was thinking about is probably this one. No, again I'm wrong. Anyway, the next one. So another favorite of mine. I mean, as far as breweries go, Panzer Brewery, just outside of Moscow. This is the Aquarelle series, which is usually either single hop or 2 hop varieties. In this case, it's just Mosaic, and it's double dry hopped IPA. Usually, I think they use the same base, or like same malts and everything, but they rotate the hop varieties, and it's usually very solid beer. Sometimes really impressive as well. Another one from Yaroslavl Plan B. This is that's the one I was thinking about. Yeah, so this is the session IPA. 4.5 might be a bit too much for Boris, but we'll see if I'll take this along as well. There's another one that I'm thinking about, probably this one then. Yes, Community Small Any IPA. It must be a style or something. 3%, probably just what Boris wants. And now this brewery is from, I think, the south of Russia. I'm not sure. No, it's not that far away. It's again the region next to Moscow, but not in this case. I think it's the southeast. The city called Ryazan, and I've only had tomato beers from them, This one, I think there's a special yesterday at the beer shop. That you got fourth can. If you buy 3 cans, you get one for free, and you can pick and mix whatever you want. So that's an IP I'm gonna try. I have nothing yet to say about it because I don't know. Now that's where it starts to get interesting. So first, that the guy I mentioned from Tula, from Seldon's, he came out with a tomato gose, but it tastes like a beer, and they still make that variety. They have some variations on the theme, so like pepper, hot peppers, adding different vegetables to the mix. But then other breweries took it to the next level, and they started making something more like, Bloody Mary or Bloody Caesar, or something along those lines. And that's actually something I like more, clamato. Basically like a thick tomato drink with some beer flavors, but it's usually you drink it more like a cocktail. So I got a few of these. This brewery is probably specialized in them because they're really good. So this one actually is a new thing. Sangrita gozes, when they basically imitate the Mexican drink, and they add either orange juice or grapefruit or both, or some spices as well. Another one from Brew Dealers. I think I've had this one. So this one is also kind of odd, with blackcurrant, garlic, cilantro, and chili. Another, yeah. There's a lot of these beers coming out these days, which are modeled after basically different foods, not after beer. So this one is like the American burger tomato gose. Not all of them are tomato filled, or some of them are just spiced up beers. Some of them are just too weird for me. Another tomato one from a different brewery. This one I've had, and it's one of the best I've had this year for sure. So in this case, they add like hot peppers. I think maybe jalapenos or some other hot peppers, and then they add just regular bell peppers as well. And the last few beers, well, actually 4, are all imports, I think. So that's a new one. I haven't seen this one yet. So Schlankella, which I reviewed. I think I reviewed at least 1 or 2 varieties. And I've had all of the regular beers. So the Doppelbock, the Weizen, even the lager. But this one is the kind of different. They take different types of wood, and they use that to smoke the malts. So in this case, it's cherry, but I also saw some other kind of wood as well. Now that's from Italy. I think I've had a few beers from this brewery, Baladin, but I haven't seen them anywhere in the last couple of years. So I saw a few in my favorite beer shop, and decided to try the one I haven't tried. So this is kind of the Italian IPA. Probably gonna taste like the rest of them, but they're good beers. I mean, nothing against them. They're kind of more like Belgian style or whatnot. That's probably for Boris. 3.5% session IPA, triple K from Belgium. I'm not sure which brewery. I haven't seen this one before either. And the last one, just this one's on sale. So it's a Chinese IPA from. I always struggle with the name because it's not pronounced as it's spelled. It's like Qingdao. I don't know. I'm sorry. I apologize to any Chinese viewers. But I mean, I went to China in October last year for work, and I was surprised because that's like the Chinese brewery everyone knows about. If the person knows Chinese beer, they probably know Qingdao. Again, I'm apologizing for the for the name pronunciation, but I've had this one on tap, and it was surprisingly good. It's more like an English IPA, like traditional IPAs, but this is the second time I buy this in bottles, and it tastes just like it tasted in China, so that's good, and it's cheap, so it's not too expensive. So that's it. Hope this was interesting. I might film more stuff later, or at least I will definitely film something in St. Petersburg post later. Cheers guys, stick to good beer as always.